Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee back with another video. Now today I'm going to be talking about a comic that I just finished today. I finished it probably just a couple hours ago. It's called Reincarnated as an Unlucky NPC. My wife's got my back, or Transmigrated as an Unlucky NPC. I have a wife to protect me. The title itself is misleading because they don't even like start dating essentially, like become a couple until like 90 something chapters in. And there's only 127 chapters. It says it's on a hiatus. It's on like on an unofficial X, right? Like I don't know how to like a hiatus, sure, but it's more acts than like a hiatus. Like they basically said they were done with the story, um, and like they're done with the comic. There's no more chapters coming out of it, but there could be, but like that could change, right? So it's like it's more acts than on a hiatus. What we got, 127 chapters, is more than likely all we're gonna get. But the reason I want to talk about it was, I just gave my review on it. I will say the art is fairly decent, as you can see here. There are a lot of like horny moments, like very horny moments. Like as you can see here, like this is like a lot of the female character designs. They're just, very big breasted, curvy. Um, but essentially, our main character, he transmigrates into this video game called Sword of Immortal Fate. Basically, he is this NPC that challenges the female lead and gets defeated, eventually being killed by her in a tournament 6 months after this point of where he reincarnates. Um, but it spawns in with him like choking her. It's a very weird start. Like the very first panel of the comic is him choking her, and then him realizing like being transmigrated. He's like, "What's going on?" She kicks him off, right? Not, um, and these are like the quote unquote memories of like the old him before he transmigrated into the body. This is the female lead here. Eventually, they become a couple. I think like there's 127 chapters. They don't become like an official couple till like almost chapter 100. So it's like the very the and I will point out that the very first like points of intimacy, if we go to like trying to say like would this around be it? No. Give me a second. I gotta find something. Okay. So our main character is like there are three different races in this, and which doesn't get explained until like the very 100 chapter 118. But you have the demons, you have humans, and then you have devils. The comic itself doesn't do a very good explanation of like the difference between a demon and a devil. For the longest time, I myself thought like it was just like a mistranslation until I saw this at chapter 118. I was like, oh wait, no, demon and devils are like different races. It's just like demons can be good and bad, while devils are basically only bad. And then humans basically hates demons, hates devils. Demons hate humans, hates devils. Basically, everybody hates devils. Some humans like demons, some demons like humans. Our main characters, our male lead, he is a demon who basically achieved a human form through cultivation. Our female lead is a human who hates demons. However, um, basically finds out later on that our main character is a demon and they still fall in love. Her hatred for demons kind of basically she starts hating every demon outside of the ones that he knows and him. So but basically the main issue with this comic was that I had at the start was basically the first like 70 chapters. Any form of intimacy was only when he was in this dog form. Um which yeah, I mean it kind of reminded me of that one anime where it was like being blah blah blah's dog, right? Because like the only shred of intimacy that happens is essentially in his dog form, right? So it, it it's a little weird, I will say, but at the same time like it's what this comic is, right? Like he's a dog demon, so him being an active intimacy, right? However, it starts out with him getting into it, yada yada yada. Overall, though, it's a pretty decent. It's a pretty dumb read. It's a pretty decent read. I'm up in the air about it, right? Like I said, there's a lot of horny, so you kind of just want to turn your brain off a lot of the time. Um, it's like it's not a harem, so you don't have to worry about a harem as long as if you're one of those people who don't like harems, this is a good one for you. Because while there are a bunch of female characters and they are hot and whatnot, he basically only has an interest in her and vice versa. So it is not a harem. Um, but basically, he just tries to grow closer and closer to this female lead and, basically trying to save his life and not die. I mean, he's like weak, right? Like he has the potential to become the strongest, especially with his like dog demon powers. But he is kind of just like a weak side character to start off with. We get to go through the journey of him getting stronger over time. She ends up teaching him some like cultivation methods type of stuff. They end up dual cultivating later on. Um, but essentially, it's an okay read. I wouldn't say go out of your way to read it, but as I said, the art looks decent. If you're into horny stuff, the comic is really horny. Like they show basically, like they forget to censor parts of a chapter later down the road, so you actually get like full on uh booba and like nipples and everything, right? Like because they just for some reason just one random chapter out of the entire comic, they just forget to censor like a couple panels. It, it is what it is. It didn't upset me at all. But overall, I think it's an okay read if you just don't have anything to read. This plot's just negligible. It's just humans fighting demons, demons fighting humans, both of them fighting devils, devils trying to take over the world. So that's pretty much all this comic really is. It's a game world. He doesn't have a system or anything that I remember. As I said, like, yeah, no, I don't think he has a system. No, he doesn't have a system, but he has like knowledge of the game, because he played the game, so he knows what can happen, will happen, so on and so forth. Um, and basically, he spends like the first 90 or so chapters hiding his demon identity from her. You have those moments, as I said, where he's like, is the dog, and like she doesn't know, and he tries to like keep her from knowing. It's a very like wishy-washy kind of just like whatever type of comic with some, some eye candy, fan service. Um, but overall, I think it was an okay. He does have a powerful family, which we only get to see like a few chapters of. He has a good family that like cares about him and stuff. They become accepting of their relationship, which is nice. There's no like real drama about their relationship, which is nice. But overall, like I said, it's kind of just a whatever comic, and I think, if you want some eye candy, hey, go for it. I thought I enjoyed it. So, but that's really all I want to talk about today. Leave a like, leave a sub. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.